Many people think becoming social is hard, but the truth is, it's actually easy. The key is understanding a few simple shifts in mindset and behavior that make socializing feel natural. In this video, I'll show you how to break past shyness, connect with others effortlessly, and enjoy social interactions like never before. Socializing often feels like an overwhelming task for many, especially when it's accompanied by the pressure of doing things perfectly. But here's the truth. Socializing isn't about impressing others or performing well in every interaction. It's about connecting with people in a genuine way. And that starts by shifting the way we think about ourselves and social situations. One of the main reasons people struggle with socializing is because of social anxiety. It's not just about being nervous. It's the fear of being judged or not living up to expectations. However, this kind of anxiety can be reframed. Instead of focusing on how others might perceive you, focus on the experience itself, on the opportunity to connect, share, and learn. Remember, everyone feels a bit anxious at times, even those who seem to have mastered social interactions. When you reframe your thoughts, you're no longer stuck in a loop of negative predictions. Instead of imagining the worst, try to envision a positive interaction. What if the conversation goes well? What if you make a new friend or learn something fascinating from the exchange? When you shift the focus from fear to curiosity, social situations become opportunities, not threats. A helpful way to work through social anxiety is to focus on the present moment. Instead of worrying about what you'll say next or how people will react, concentrate on simply being with the person in front of you. This mindset allows you to genuinely listen, respond, and enjoy the interaction. Social anxiety can be mitigated when we stop overthinking our every move and just embrace the flow of the conversation. Body language is one of the most powerful tools we have when it comes to socializing. And the best part? It's entirely in your control. Your body language communicates more than your words ever will, and the way you hold yourself can invite people in or push them away. If you want to appear more approachable and comfortable in social situations, a few simple changes can make all the difference. First, let's talk about posture. Stand tall with your shoulders back. This not only makes you look more confident, but also signals to others that you're open and engaged. When you slouch or cross your arms, it can come across as defensive or closed off. So, make a conscious effort to stand and sit with your back straight. It's a simple fix that can have an immediate impact on how people perceive you. The same goes for when you're sitting. Maintain an open posture by keeping your arms uncrossed and your body turned slightly towards the person you're talking to. This small gesture shows that you're genuinely interested in the conversation and the person you're with. Another crucial element of body language is your facial expressions. Smiling is one of the easiest ways to appear friendly and approachable. A genuine smile not only conveys warmth, but also helps to relax both you and the person you're talking to. When you smile, you create a positive, welcoming atmosphere, which makes people feel more at ease around you. It's contagious too. When someone smiles at you, you're more likely to smile back, which helps to build rapport and ease any tension. Eye contact is also vital in any social interaction. Too little eye contact can make you seem disinterested or evasive, while too much can feel intense or uncomfortable. Strive for a balance. Look at the person while they're speaking, and when it's your turn to talk, don't hesitate to make eye contact. It shows that you're engaged, paying attention, and genuinely interested in the conversation. Remember to take breaks from direct eye contact every now and then to avoid making the other person feel overwhelmed. Finally, your movements also matter. Fidgeting, checking your phone constantly, or looking around the room while someone is talking can send the message that you're distracted or not fully present. Instead, try to mirror the other person's body language subtly. If they lean in too. This not only helps you create a sense of connection, but also makes the interaction feel more natural. Keeping your movements slow and deliberate will convey that you're calm and confident, and it will encourage others to feel more comfortable around you. Starting a conversation can be one of the trickiest parts of socializing, especially if you're not sure what to say or how to break the ice. It's natural to worry that you might come off as awkward, or that your attempts at initiating a conversation might not be well received. However, in reality, people are often more receptive than we give them credit for, and there are many simple, effective ways to start a conversation that feel natural and engaging. First, let's talk about the most powerful and underrated tool for starting a conversation: observation. One of the easiest ways to begin chatting with someone is by commenting on your shared environment. For instance, if you're at an event, a class, or even in a cafe, you can start by noticing something in your surroundings and making a light-hearted comment about it. This place has such a cozy vibe, don't you think? Or, I love the playlist they're playing here. Have you heard this song before? Observational remarks help you break the ice by focusing the conversation on something neutral rather than on the other person's personal characteristics. This keeps the interaction light and non-threatening, which makes it easier for the other person to engage with you. Another excellent way to start a conversation is by asking open-ended questions. Rather than asking yes/no questions like, "Did you have a good weekend?" which can sometimes feel transactional, try something more expansive. For example, you could ask, "What was the highlight of your weekend?" Or, "I've been wanting to get into topic. Do you have any recommendations?" Open-ended questions invite the other person to share more about themselves and can lead to deeper, more meaningful conversations. It also shows that you are genuinely interested in what they have to say, rather than just filling silence with small talk. When you're getting to know someone, finding common ground is essential. A great way to discover shared interests is by starting with topics that many people can relate to, such as travel, books, movies, food, or even current events. People often love talking about their favorite movies, vacations, or new hobbies they've picked up, and these topics give you the chance to find something you both enjoy. For instance, you might ask, "Have you been on any interesting trips lately?" Or, "What's the best book you've read recently?" These questions are great conversation starters because they allow the other person to reflect on personal experiences and share something that matters to them. A great conversation starter is also to ask for advice or an opinion. People like to feel helpful, and when you ask someone for their advice, it creates an instant connection. For example, you might ask, "I'm planning a trip to destination. Do you have any recommendations on what to do there?" Or, "I'm trying to get into a new hobby. Any suggestions?" Asking for advice gives the other person the chance to share their expertise or personal experiences, which fosters a sense of connection and can naturally guide the conversation forward. Additionally, when someone shares their knowledge with you, it can create a bond, and you'll find it easier to build rapport as the conversation continues. Sometimes, humor is the best way to ease into a conversation. If the situation allows for it, making a light joke or observation can help break the tension. Just be sure the humor is appropriate for the setting and that it's inclusive rather than self-deprecating or off-putting. For example, if you're both standing in line at a coffee shop, you could say, "I think this line is moving slower than a snail, don't you?" This simple shared moment of humor can create an instant sense of camaraderie, helping to ease both of you into a more comfortable, open conversation. Remember, starting a conversation isn't about having a perfect line or saying the most interesting thing. It's about being genuine, relaxed, and willing to open the door for a conversation to take shape. It's normal for conversations to evolve organically, so don't put pressure on yourself to keep it flowing at all times. If you start with something simple and authentic, it gives the other person the chance to respond, share, and lead the conversation in unexpected and exciting directions. Most importantly, try to stay present in the moment. Don't worry too much about what to say next or how your words will come across. Focus on the person in front of you and the opportunity to learn something new. Lastly, when starting a conversation, don't be afraid of silence. It's okay if there are pauses. Sometimes silence can be the space needed to think of a new topic or for both people to gather their thoughts. If a lull occurs, It's a great opportunity to ask a follow-up question or comment on something you've noticed in your surroundings, keeping the natural flow of the interaction going. One of the most important elements of a truly engaging conversation is active listening. It's often overlooked because we tend to focus on what we're going to say next, but active listening can make a world of difference in how well you connect with others. People want to feel heard, and when you listen intently to what someone else is saying, it creates a deeper bond and fosters trust. It's not just about hearing the words, they want to feel like their feelings and thoughts are valued. Active listening starts with giving the speaker your full attention. This means putting away distractions, such as your phone or the TV, and focusing solely on the person in front of you. It's important to make them feel like they have your undivided attention. If you're distracted by a phone, or even by the thoughts in your head, it can come across as disinterest or disrespect. But when you focus entirely on the speaker, your body language will naturally reflect that. You'll nod, maintain eye contact, and lean in slightly, showing the other person that you're fully engaged. Next, reflect on what the person is saying. This doesn't mean you should interrupt or immediately offer a solution, but rather you can paraphrase or summarize what they've shared to show that you're truly absorbing their words. For example, if someone tells you about a challenging situation at work, you might respond with, "It sounds like you've been under a lot of pressure with your projects. How are you handling it?" This kind of response not only affirms their feelings, but also encourages them to share more. Another powerful technique is to ask open-ended questions. When you ask questions that invite deeper reflection, it shows that you are genuinely interested in the other person's perspective. For example, instead of asking a yes-no question like, "Did you like that movie?" ask, "What did you think about the character development in that movie?" This allows the person to explain their thoughts in more detail, and it keeps the conversation flowing. Remember, the more you ask thoughtful questions and listen actively, the more likely it is that the conversation will deepen and become more meaningful. You should also be mindful of the speaker's emotional state. Often, people share more than just the facts. They share how they feel about the situation. By recognizing their emotions, you can show empathy and connect on a deeper level. If someone seems excited about a recent accomplishment, share in their enthusiasm with an encouraging response like, "That's amazing. You must feel so proud." On the other hand, if someone seems down or frustrated, you could say, "That sounds really tough. I'm sorry you had to go through that." Empathy makes the other person feel validated and understood, and it strengthens the bond you're building. Active listening doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It's about being present and showing that you care enough to really engage with the other person's thoughts and feelings. By making an effort to listen actively, you not only improve the quality of your conversations, but you also build stronger, more genuine relationships. Building and maintaining a social circle doesn't have to be a daunting or overwhelming task. In fact, expanding your network and cultivating lasting friendships can be surprisingly easy when you approach it with an open mind and the right mindset. The first step is to understand that socializing isn't just about meeting people. It's about creating meaningful connections. That's why it's important to focus on quality over quantity. It's not about collecting as many friends or contacts as possible. It's about forming relationships with people who share your values and interests. A great way to expand your social circle is to put yourself in environments where meeting new people is natural. This might be a hobby group, a class, a networking event, or even a community volunteer activity. The key is to find places where people are already open to connecting, rather than waiting for a perfect moment to strike up a conversation. When you're in a group setting with a shared interest, it gives you an easy topic to start with, and you're already on common ground. For example, if you join a book club, the first conversation you have will likely revolve around the book you're reading, which creates an instant way to bond. Another great way to meet new people is to be proactive. Don't wait for others to approach you. Take the initiative to reach out and start a conversation. It's easy to sit back and let others take the lead, but by putting yourself out there, you open the door to new connections. You don't have to wait for a formal introduction or for someone to invite you to socialize. A simple, "Hello, I'm your name. Nice to meet you," can be the start of something amazing. The more you practice this, the easier it becomes, and soon enough, starting conversations will feel like second nature. When expanding your social circle, consistency is key. Relationships take time to develop, and the more often you engage with the people you meet, the stronger your connection will grow. This doesn't mean you have to spend hours with every person you meet, but following up on conversations and making an effort to stay in touch shows that you value the relationship. A simple message like, "Hey, it was great talking to you last week. Would love to grab coffee sometime," can turn a casual encounter into a lasting friendship. One of the most effective ways to strengthen your social network is to be genuinely supportive. Whether it's offering a compliment, giving a thoughtful gift, or being there for someone when they need help, being kind and helpful will build trust and deepen the connection. When people feel supported and appreciated, they're more likely to reciprocate. And that's how true friendships are formed. Lastly, don't forget to be authentic. When you meet new people, be yourself. Authenticity attracts authenticity. You're not trying to impress others or be someone you're not. The more you allow yourself to be vulnerable and honest in your interactions, the more you'll attract people who appreciate you for who you truly are. People can sense when someone is being genuine, and they're naturally drawn to those who are comfortable in their own skin. Expanding your social circle is not about trying to be liked or impress others. It's about making meaningful connections with people who align with your values, interests, and goals. When you approach socializing with authenticity, kindness, and a willingness to put yourself out there, you'll find that forming lasting friendships becomes not only easier, but also enjoyable.